Tyler and I are down here in Kentucky, and we just finished up with the Kentucky EMS conference in Lexington. And so now we're down in Richmond, Kentucky, which is where our educational partner is Eastern Kentucky University. And we're going to go there today and do a campus tour.
Yeah, if you guys remember last year, we partnered with Eastern Kentucky University, and our hopes was that it was going to encourage more EMS providers to pursue a degree. And when you are a member of Foam for Ad Studio, and you decide to go to EKU, you get 25% off of your tuition, 20% off of the EKU workforce classes, free textbooks, and I think that's a pretty good deal, you know? So we wanted to go down and actually show you what Eastern Kentucky University looks like. I mean, Sam and I have both taken online college classes, and we've always wondered, you know, what's the brick and mortar of this place actually look like? So we're gonna show you the EMS campus, and we're gonna take you on a little tour. We got to play with their simulation setup, and I think you guys will find this really interesting.
Yeah, I think a concern that a lot of students have when they're looking at online education is that education legitimate? Is this a for-profit university that just wants to take my money and doesn't really have any academic standards? And that is definitely not the case here at EKU. We've been a brick and mortar institution since 1906 as a university. And in fact, some would say that we're even older. We've had several universities on this physical site here in Richmond, Kentucky, that kind of over the years eventually became what we now know today as EKU. And so we've been around for more than 100 years. And our paramedic program got launched in 1976. And we've actually been KHEP accredited since 1980. So we're the second oldest accredited paramedic program in the country, and we're the oldest accredited paramedic program here in Kentucky. So this is definitely no diploma mill. This is a real university that has a lot of staying power, and we have a lot of experience in delivering really high impact, really meaningful education that really prepares you for success in whatever you might want to do in your EMS career.
Our dean, Derek Paulson, he always says that you can go to other certification programs and prepare for your job, but if you come to EKU, it will help prepare you for your career. So you come to EKU and maybe you're a pre-med student and you're double majoring in biomedical sciences and biology, and you're like, well, I'll take this EMT class. I'll pad my resume, and then you get the EMS mosquito bite, and you're like, pre-med, that sounds so boring. I have like 8 more years of school, but I could do this in 4 years. I could get a Bachelor of Science. I can take all the pre-med and pre-PA coursework in case I change my mind, but in the meantime, I'm gonna get an EMT cert. I am going to get hands-on clinical experience and be a paramedic who's completed a full paramedic internship and get to work out in the field. If I want to branch into education, Eastern has coursework that will fulfill state EMS education requirements and National EMS Educator Association requirements. If I decide that I want to be more on the administrator track or seek out public health, I could double major in EMC and public health, go on, get my master's of public health, or maybe do like a 3-2 and integrate public health with med school or pre-PA school. You can go anywhere and get just a paramedic certification, but if you come to Eastern, not only will you broaden your horizons, but you will walk out with at least 1 bachelor's degree.
So when students come into our program, which is 100% online with their existing paramedic license, they can choose from 2 different tracks in our bachelor's degree. The first track is EMS administration, and that's really primarily about leadership and management and system design and system influence. So that's a great track for students who really want to be leaders in the EMS system, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally. So we have a lot of graduates from that program that are in state EMS offices, they're in federal leadership positions. So the coursework in that degree track is things like EMS design and budget, EMS law and ethics, EMS system management, which includes things like just culture, ethics of leadership, principles of how to really run an EMS system and lead people. So that coursework is really exciting for people who aspire to have those kinds of roles in EMS because we're talking about theory, but we're also talking about the application of that theory. And we have opportunities for students to do co-ops, practicums, and research projects all around EMS leadership and EMS administration. The second track that they can choose from online is our clinical and fire science option. And that's really designed for paramedics who are either in a career that's primarily sort of fire-based and 911 based. It would also be appropriate for paramedics working in non-fire-based programs, but it's really designed to elevate the educational horizons of line level paramedics. That track involves coursework along the lines of occupational safety and health, risk management, legal principles for the fire service, those kinds of courses. So what we typically see is that paramedics who are seeking to really advance their career beyond direct patient care gravitate towards that EMS administration track. Paramedics who are satisfied with their career doing direct patient care but want more depth, more breadth, more exposure to different kinds of concepts, gravitate a little bit more towards that clinical fire science track. And we do have a third track, which is a pre-med, pre-PA track. And that one is not technically an online track, but it can actually often be completed online, sort of in a distance education kind of a format. That track requires a lot of what in academia you refer to as the hard sciences as opposed to the social sciences. So chemistry, physics, cell biology, those kinds of courses. Some people do find those courses to be actually hard, but you know, they're the sort of traditional science classes that would prepare a student to go to med school or go to PA school. And what we have found over the past few years is that many times students can take equivalent courses locally and then transfer those credits into our program. So we don't advertise that one online because it's not really built for an online degree. It does require science labs and some in-person kinds of experiences. But we've had a few students who have taken those courses locally at a local college or community college, transferred those in, and been able to complete that degree from a distance. And our success rates in placing those students as far as admission to PA school and medical school is just about 100%. Almost everybody who has gone through that track has been able to achieve their dreams of becoming a mid-level or physician within just a few years.